Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Sorry, so I'm a accountability. You always with the Sako and Mustapha Hamid. 50 counts charges are the abono. Na be extortion, a be so ye sika father and sassy or nipa and son a kind of honey abo charge. And round your would say Mustapha Hamid to say charges are always with your body in a court to no more to me.
I was here OSPBM, my tap so some catch it or tap case in this was no. But I think accountability that we are make us say our mind will be that is the only thing that can save us. Because we cannot create a free ride society where people rise to political prominence and that becomes their ticket to wealth. Nobody checks Obia. Kwanya fast or winya sika Obia and check Obia. Basa I incentivize a lot of people. So means minina as a uko school now when Obi kasa minina person me politics. As if politics is an occupation. Because who say Obi kom wako wiya kwa ye. Nobody checked anybody. And I think that in the society you cannot give that open check destin create such an open check politics arena for people to operate. It is that and as ye jina so na ye make sure say ayeda yan adwumadi de be send pansa but the send pansa na say onam kwan so whether willfully or foolishly cause financial loss to the state that person must answer. And it is in that spirit. And Ghana for come together in the 2024 election car say abina na air cosono ed bokro no wia sika. There were just mere allegations, even though there were traces of evidence and but then some investigations have been conducted and we've come to the realization say the na yedi ni hunu kra the sana ya nkra but two people can sit at national service near the ensabo man sikam who over 2 billion. 2 billion no it's the whole town abrabo now afa no they ato no ho obia enyo obia hwe MP some of the corruption cases alcohol because I one arena sika fa because it's a petroleum hub no for them and these people felt to say they were part of a government or nobody hold anybody accountable na esoro kra we are now what MP we are there what I say so my catcher say and Akufo there were enough motivation for people to plan that without recourse to law order no bia nsuro bia and then metimi sa niema we sisi ye no enti where we are now no the new dawn no must give people reason to have hope once again in politicians because we got to the bottom low where obo be politician dey na Ghana for ya na eye because either you be who say we are cromfo and answer we saying that was the straight understanding Ghana for about obi or a politician. But I think that this is the time for us reverse that narrative, that trend na who say there are people who go into politics with a dignified purpose to serve the people, not to steal. That is the only way to me I'm motivating young people coming. No more a different understanding about politics. And to do so, no, we need to establish the conventional red lines in the Sunday and country amount for say the 2 million amount. But there would be a boroswa or mine no bedi. Elsewhere, might be a way ye biano, our punitive sanctions are eguho, ausro. In China, obey a day, Casawako for my sick idea. One kasakwa uyem sese wusuro. That is the kind of fear we must create here. And the Attorney General today will give another brief. We want to hear how far some of these things have gone. Now you're making sure that these criminal cases in the SEC will not just be in the news, will not just be me court my back. What is the real update? Ghana for want to see the back of people in jail and that is the only message we can use to convince people say and the political narrative necessary there will be consequences for you because Mustapha Hamid Obakaya on a year press conference besu with TV so as if say Ghana ama and then go and see in the life for changing because he became MPA boss all kono na obi headmaster our secondary school bi watama sa teacher has been teaching for 20 good years in here. Make us say, Ebia, Toyota Corolla, Toby. But because somebody within a short stay, or the other not because of the salary, but of our contract. people around him just to ensure say and the MPP na who say obi be CEO and akofo ni nua na obi create company na ono ankasa kwa timi create company hanani ono ankasa o create company na yere na se for na no operate how weak the mind is when it comes to some of these things. So yeah, I think say accountability there and no can who be na Ghana for their kunwa share John Mahamansa maka say in the last 4 years Ghana for mpehwe tie but they want to see say where we are sika yaji esika odam where we are esika yaji odam. That is the only message Ghanaian will take, and we cannot move away from that. So accountability there, we cannot run away from. So the Attorney General on Shan Sapomunsu. Because a man in front of him to special prosecutor and also President said the office should still exist. That's fine. By making sure say the occupant, whether he will be removed or not, the office become very efficient. Now on fan and sanko tape cases. So cases in about no because gigi no akofa no a case in useless. Cecilia that case, the state of that particular way, not that case was a great case. Very good case. You bet me a prosecutor because I don't want to be so baby, sika no free and no. We needed to know. And my catcher said, and I'm saying, I dream more hunting or to me, Sanya could look up police station or report to say, no dollars with them come for me. We are in Sanya when you say, you go $1. Sika good there, no. You have a 1 year open sesame. Now, Casa, what chance was Sikaba? And you Ghana for Sika. You are not able to tell people where that money came from. Paul Adomochre and his people came with some stupid justifications. The American Treasury. What I say, not such a good case. You have a case like this case. You back and forth the same special prosecutor. Kind of for that DAV. And this case is, Ghana for vested interest. We cannot let them slide. Now you can say, and now we hear the narrative now. They are seeking to change the all the focus from this. Now we are one bomb man crown, one bomb man dream say, oh I know I need to be catch you. Will be say, your friend say Ghana force you rise against a court. When crown one bomb at that hole, our mind what didn't the woman or mine or crowd we hear my move for a brimanium or move. At the expense of these impoverished people, and today you have the moral justification to come and be making noise. And I think the moral audacity on their part in Ankasa is very shocking, and it tells you the kind of people they are. So for me, I think that the state must move in and prosecute these sensitive cases because we cannot move without it. Over the years from 2017, basically, Sika PDS and now President Kufuor can be. Also, or not as a former president or tin channel, or TVBSF and the PDS. Quabanit with time of mine, Sika Bra, man for while we hear some of the Kosi Cathedral. And Une Abrante years pause, which has a walk. I said, walk up and I go by in a Jehono. So, Okona Owe, ne cap on Suna. FIFA amount $50 million. Sikasa Nedikutuamana.
97.
Hey, 97 boy.
And so
and almost work up a winning music. And this is how Ghana for don't value some of these things. What and Sasi can go to Amanano and can work up Yakoboy Yajias Yaji and who can require Sanquasia Jumana Yadukutu Amana or Cathedral. And besides, I say, yes, work up now. You're going to see Cabba if you bet me about Brapapa. Sasi can the Biaquasha form. More than that, as a form. Now we are going in here, you don't have a sense of shame and you want to support this in some way, say because I am a party. You see, in some way, can also be time will be but these are the house rally because Sika Okoma, Makata say Ghana for a transnet near my yard. You bet me Sikadia, boy, a hombra, I'm a yet young person, Biaka Okroma, you have unemployment benefits, you bet me my young people call Sika Okroma. In the Abana say because you call walk up giddy 50 million. What you cap at the amount? Yeah, the more than 50 million. Oh, Chroma saying, and the Omanians our heifer, and we sit here and we glorify some of these things, and these things happen, and you are telling me, say, yeah, some of these things should not be prosecuted. No, we need to prosecute these people just to send loud message to people out there. Say, or mind the show and say, oh, exercises stupid discretion. You will pay for that because on mine sikano, you have fun needs a munu. The mere fact that doesn't mean that we don't need to I have privilege. President now choose you and to do that then diligently. You don't mess the nation up based on your stupid discretion, stupid decision, and the minor lose you. We can't do that. So for me, corruption cases in and Akufo-Addo no a widespread na me bisa mo senti ono ene wadi 80 years plus otifie no ohwe TV na ohun niam hu na ekoso na mamuomu a ni tibuade na ka kire no it tells you say nipa no more criticizing obi en ho no tan no but amomofo ho tan tan no be no ehun sunsunso nie cause abai watietia we timi tena ya fan say national service note me atam sa sika we asibe ya se okokuma se na o KMA boss so man abrabo okobo no ho no ene ye promote no de ne ba national service ene obato aso kromfo keto anyina be kromfo kase ene ye wi o man no left right center because Kenoforiata was busy doing his own thing, the president and his family people were doing their own thing, minister obi ye ne de ene ya turn the country into a crime scene. And for me, I think that this is the time for us. Now you make sure say you changing the narrative because you been here 4 years away. Now said no single person has been prosecuted. And Ghana will be very disappointed. It's the reason why I am urging the Attorney General prosecution. That is the language Ghana want to hear because we cannot sit here and be talking for 4-8 good years, accusing people, see corruption here and there, and nothing happens. I just say, state no endorse sa nema no. Sa nema no so na be boy because say obi wiana yan kana hwea, obi so ene e wa aban mu a. There is enough motivation. Oh, na dey na be see. What I say, sikas ya the boy mine ho bra no obefa. Ba nsiran kanya me say, John Mahama ba 8 months to almost 1 year near. Yenhu any case of corruption and as a scandal bia. Ghana for so for me that is a positive sign. I wish we can sustain that. You bet me build the confidence in Ghana because so with the analysis of my major concern you building trust and confidence in Ghanaian because that is the only thing ever save on my way. Is the reason why I was telling the High Court and as a judgment on whatever they should make this in Yansa. You don't just dish out judgment as Yansa be an Baka will be say, cover 20 billion within 2 hours, Faber and Sana. Does it make sense? What I say? Oh, yes, I know. Oh, my Ghana for a man for dear with a whore. Obimati say, oh, the Ghana, they assemble or we cannot get there, you understand? So if you are dishing out willing, men dish out Sabi and Ghana for making sure say willing in because the whole essence of justice dispensation is to hold society together. Ruling bo maya, we are mamboya for. And these are some of the things that we need to do. So across all state institutions, we need to preach and show say due diligence will happen everywhere. You don't continue baby. A human in your mama, your papa, your bushia, community, do a basis. So, some now, all is a crow 20 years and over, and form President Kufu and there, or in which or can also cancel my man form. It means that it doesn't matter the power you rise to today, or China, President Mahama, and he is president today, or China, or better will be for Abba. What I say, power is transcendent. But when you are there, now, if people decide they will use that power to mess up, we need to mess them up first. Because my country says state, you cannot be weak, you cannot be dishing out because you are merciful. The very moment you do that, that is your end. Because human beings are always dangerous and we will always click to our destructive best when we get opportunity and the incentive. As a state, it is our job to take away this incentive and opportunity just to make man say there are consequences. Then you consequences. One kasa wa mo bra papa odo betu jama hye wo. No. Na ya de ketwa. Over time ni pass on to jama hye no consequence ketwa. So I just say Nyankopon kwa believe in that particular way. So as a state, if we do away with that, we will create a chaotic, horrible society where poverty will triumph and the strongest will thrive. We cannot create that society.
That's it.
No crowd say, and your mommy and said, my NDC battle. Galamsey fight, corruption, and they do my new. That your mommy and say, oh, mom, refia, and into the United Party. Ghana policies are a wider week. Corruption, and they do it into my party. Make I say, oh, man, penny, ever coffee, dear friend, Ora, operation recover all Luchu.
Yeah,
I know the talk of 48. But I'm saying, and go for me, a war, a bam, they are still living in the past, say, a business as usual. Yeah. And the date here, the 18th of December. And can normally, a babia buffufra, but the 7th month year, old administration in Semno, can you get SC, new one, and my politicians are brand new, Brebiano, Omuya Sikako. towards a real fee old one and normal cotton scanso. But because the Ghana for no, if he said, and you may be see and the Kufadra, under no circumstance was a man called punishment, 18 December, you go so the old administration. You better can't him say the right thing will be done. Memo beyond gaslight, Monka say, I then am more chatted to hey. Usika go do people to move Jago. That is the only way Obia or what Bemus Siano. You bet me and I say, Obia, you bet taking on Mustapha Hamid. He's so arrogant and bold and just to because my captain says I'm OSP. We know 1 year not getting so bad. Wow, my 1 year not getting and consider bay. Na young can't. Eti akwani kana no apply for passport. When there was also a court, young kwasi, now you know go free. Yesika swajira. Anuti e was set Ghana for no e ma ye ni bre ye di ani e hwe OSP no. Me de maka se on free home. Mo se mo de mo be so so a. Can you go? Now 2028 you know, you go back to the people and explain.
Yeah.
Say corruption cases in good was now send you over commentators. In case, you know. Have you been following it? No, Master Daba, no Master State, you know, witness state or will prepare the minds of the people of this country. Say they be accepting any bogus ruling. But hey, they have to know that the people of this country will allow that. Young man conform the fire seeker, and I must see into fraud boys, I say. Sir, game boys, you almost get dangerous and say politicians are almost billions. Omodeko. Who be share your number casa? What lie, Senaba, we now be. And the state must be serious. The authority was no baby fear.
No baby.
Now say, what shall say? Now, Yadia, Minim, a Drew Hono, what should I do, baby, and what that way, Mr. Tony General, I am going to say, oh, yes, because we are not yet doing anybody's bidding.
No.
So, be that I will say, what you are doing is the right thing now. You are wrong on it. Brief the people, let the people know what is happening. Because corruption is saying, see, Jim and to me, Masia Kobo be 13.5 billion from the international market. And to me, that you need the idea. And to me, Masia just sika 52 billion. They are got to non account to tax. You now, yes, sika, Ayira, you need the idea. Now, you are, you say, sanity. Abra de Bia, Yen Bukrani, yet did what. Yes, no way, no. And to Mustapha Hamid, mono, 22nd. Ya general for your attorney general monko kan laws ni yi kire wo mo na mo ntia se obi a wadi esika bi o se hwe na nsem negotiation bi e koso mo dem betwa mu negotiation ba yesu be kasa kire Ghana for no see there there say boys na wo for bo no ye kan wo mu tie ni ye o mo say politicians obi nyanya tumia na dwene asesa o Ghana no ho kese o what comfort zone. You cannot be in your comfort zone. Abra accommodating comfort. Abra comfort near you my. Na ni nyina ko wie say. Sika was a ketumi di bia nyuma ma obi anya bia no. Okwabra ne na busu afa sa sika no. Dom dia show botom. No mo dia show botom o. Na yesi enko from honorable. You are not honorable. You are dishonorable. Say, what mo any be taxi drivers kaya yefo a teacher for sika boja obi adwuma wo yen kakraka ya gigisa gie fanko ya adwuma okwabana ne dia o friend honorable esan say o ma o kakra di you think you are a so every corruption case remember the attorney general has been accused by A1 before so you're corrupt don't let anybody have that nose he said sadie see no and he must go after those that have shortened this country.
Okay.
And yes, sir, that will be the end of our democracy. John Mahama last administration, and then they make me restore confidence. And to watch our Ghana for no man and mom, we see it and Panda will be on the side of Yakamo. Almost the mom, yes, I'm going to feel. Almost see when you may be what say you can't say MMDC crank, you better swabber.
Yeah.
When you overwhelming majority, yes, if you really mean business, then you amend the constitution with it, and you may be a yes, you're quite. che president ya mo immunity kan be ya look onyanko akotu amena osori a na ye di motorcade di nanim na osan so gi salary ekufo do gi salary just say ye bona ba so say we be misman the job man. Is that the country you want to build? No, I don't go like that. Say Penifo is responsible. Some Penifo in your home did free. Oh, yes. Among quad you bedroom or so. Or Mamma Brabaya, Diamond Jima. I don't want to say we are. I don't want to see Angie also. Some of us are not going to do that. Yebeka Copemra, the last bloody nest. It be free. Near ye, damn Juma. Oh, but now car. But now will be a cognac so. Actually, that's the Yaquano about Damokasa because when we are minor, and I almost say, yeah, and I make catch us electoral commission. No, I just sent us, I say, well, yeah, the money, Jane. Papa Ben, yeah, Tom, your friend is a tourism authority, as I say, Eddie Man. Penny woman, as so much a chill of minor. Afa, Anna, Yanni, dear children, over the I say spectators. Now, the spectators very soon will become the leaders if they don't know. His son said, kakra sanyo we are the before day eba you nim say ye we entiro onko 22nd no na me say attorney general the ata which is supreme one OSP no mo hwe ni ye yes sir send na Ivan tapping man or tap so 2 minutes na ye we minority say president enya reshuffle and they are even calling for the resignation of land minister.
Reshuffle.
Aye, almost a president in your reshuffle.
And I make say, politics no ho. Baby, I do no some cross and politics na pa ho. Yet now Kroma. I first I can for that finance ministry for how many years?
7 and more than half years.
Or no one can the party for a sort of kojina say on Pamno or a day see. You see, these are jokers who should not be taken serious. And I make us asem no way politics walk who they walk can some make Kenyans asem, Nanyans asem about 20 party. John Mahama na Ghana for their Kunya man is on running. Now what you see the ministers. Or feeling dissatisfied or better say obi. But now what's in China about point man is on Obi. In coming from opposition, the person will not even take it. Because who do you so why would determine performance based on what? You are subscribing to a particular data that has been conducted, and based on it, this minister, the performance because of this testing, we suggest to say the president should sack her. It makes sense. Then criticize it. But you just wake up, today. You have the moral audacity to call Obisa and Sake Land minister no more can asem. You see, I think that Obi Woha Ohia Basoba Ayonoa. Do you know why? It's one of the most difficult sector. And even aside that, aside this particular data, you see, this lithium deal by the idea was to have it with Ghana for sorry tears. Oh. Yes, he am 5% in as a form. He did the press conference and says, I lithium near Ghana for there. I am withdrawing. We are going back to engage the people of this country, and another day we will come back. Makasa said a good leader, and then you'll be on your mistake. A good leader is on make a step, not a nipa can or draw back, and they make corrective way. Yeti Kroma say, and they mahune ko Kroma say, Kenoforata, yes, I'm Pamela see. MPP for no Mujijira say, or Muni Kenoforata, no, the measures of Munia Lusu primaries. Eugene Boache, your MPs and my Kumase, Yaguakutuno, and Kakumase, how often do people lose their seat? But because of Kasi, Yam Pam Kenoforata, and Yakotu Nifriho, he let the buyer. You sorry, TI. Or more than ye catches, or Marcus on my pass, you should talk on our court at the distance of Chroma say. But the way mere agitation on the part of the people, because the last time Minister Soloba, he registered his frustration about it. A lot of people, Franklin Kojo and others, you may agree, you may disagree, but at the end of the day, the government says the concerns have been expressed by the people. I am taking it in good faith. I'm going back to engage the people because lithium no, and you may Ghana for there. If that is what it, so Nipana make it this significant mover. Was it Yampa Mufriva? And I get the Galam say, I think that there has been a lot of advances over not most. when you are Kroma. Galamsey na beginning na say no. Today is different. You didn't hear a lot about it because massive improvement akoswa. Namos no gusu egumurema. They are tackling people. Makacha say nobody is a magician. Open sesame and all of a sudden everything will change. It will take pragmatic step-by-step measure to be able to deal with it. We will speak against it when the government is not dealing with it. Yeah. In the past, they were giving up people licenses to go to virgin forest to go and mine. At that time, now we're China, now we're Japan. So you didn't even have the sense to ask the government to tell the minister at the time to go home. These are jokers who should not be taken serious. So for me, I think that the as a president, he has the right to do. So Ghana for we can also suggest to the person, but it is not in the place of these jokers who recently messed up with this country, and we are still dealing with the excesses of their doing to point to who should be sacked and who should not be sacked. They should give us a break.
No crowd say I'm a boy, one of the ministers. What I'm going to do?
No, in America.
A brown did 9 months on the buyer. Me boy, nice, that could feel more. Now, me who say, oh, I drink. And then I will be the last person at this team. So you're born in a brochure. That's it on self, but but for now, he's working very hard.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far, so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.